Bordered by Everglades to the north and canals to the east and south, access to the site will be primarily along the northern property line, alternating to the south side of the property as needed to accommodate construction activities along the southern border. The site required extensive clearing. However, every effort was made to preserve existing trees where possible, which were relocated to different locations on site for replanting later in the project. Excavation of the retention pond is required first, generating soils from the excavation that can be used to raise the elevation of the wave basin site to minimize the extent to which the bottom of the wave basin is submerged in the existing water table, which is very shallow below the existing grade. Dewatering, necessary to temporarily lower the water table so that excavation of both the retention pond and the wave basin can occur, requires construction of a temporary holding pond before being pumped back into the canal. Concurrent with retention pond excavation is the construction of the slurry wall, a 25-foot deep, 2-foot wide trench filled with bentonite material required to separate the water table associated with the Everglades from the wave basin and retention pond. This below-grade wall is 1.5 miles long, bordering 3 sides of our entire site along the eastern, northern, and western property lines. Upon completion of the slurry wall, a 6-week operation, excavation of the wave basin begins. Given the size of the wave basin, too large to dewater in its entirety, it is necessary to divide the length of the basin into 4 sections, providing manageable areas for dewatering. This is accomplished via temporary barriers installed in the north-south direction, dividing the wave basin into 4 quadrants or chambers in order to accommodate dewatering and excavation. Each area will be dewatered to lower the water table so that construction can be completed, and then the operation will move westward in sequential fashion to the next designated area. Upon completion of the chambers, dewatering will begin, with water being pumped initially to the temporary holding pond and eventually to the permanent retention pond upon its completion. When the excavation and grading is complete in the first chamber, the foundation piles will be installed, followed by concrete. When the first chamber is complete, the operation will move westward. The critical path of this operation is at the deepest areas of excavation, primarily the foundation area beneath track, where dewatering is required. The balance of the concrete to the south of this area is above the water line and not as critical to the timing of completion. Immediately following the concrete, from east to west, the track for the wave bundle will be installed in the wave basin. As well, when the winch foundations are completed and the concrete has properly cured, the winches and drives will be installed, followed by construction of the winch house structures. Concurrent with construction of the wave basin, site utilities will be installed, beginning with the storm drain, followed by water, fire water, sewer, and the electrical service. Underground utilities will commence in phases, starting along the southern border with site access along the northern property line. Activities will then flip, with access to the site being moved to the southern property line so that utility work can be completed along the northern edge of the site. Also in parallel with construction of the wave basin is construction of the buildings. Both the front-facing facilities along the water's edge and the back of the house facilities, including our water treatment facility. Finally, upon completion of the wave basin construction, the filling of the wave basin will be filled, and testing and commissioning will commence. Completion of the buildings and site work will be occurring at this time, in parallel with wave commissioning. It is anticipated that approximately 15 months after breaking ground, this world-class facility will be operational and open for business.